Hello and welcome to Murrayfield and Me, a love story with Bruce Aitchison from Happiness is Egg-Shaped. Murrayfield Stadium has been the site of many, many happy days in my life and my rugby life. I've met lots of great people, shared some fantastic experiences, and made memories that will last for a very, very long time. And I hope to share them with you. And today involves one of my absolute heroes and a man that I've known for most of my life. This man here, the great, the one and the only Mr. Doddie Weir. Doddie was the host of the Thistle Suite for international games during the Six Nations and the Autumn Test. The Thistle Suite holds about 550 paying punters. They come before kickoff for some entertainment. They disappear out into the cold Murrayfield air to watch the game, and then they come back in to get warmed up before going off into the Edinburgh night to do as they do. And Doddie Weir is the host. He was the man who stood up on stage and conducted the whole event. Everybody left feeling better than the moment they had walked in. But Doddie was getting to the end of his time, and he knew that he wanted to hand on the baton to someone. And his great mate, Jim Nicholson, who was the head of the hospitality company at Murrayfield, started looking for an heir to the throne, someone to take over the stage. It's a bit like Davy Moyes having to replace Alec Ferguson. How the hell do you follow Doddie Weir? I had given up club coaching because I had a new job and I'd become a commuter, which meant I couldn't commit to Tuesdays and Thursdays and all the other stuff that goes with coaching in clubland. And I also wasn't able to commit to every weekend. But what I could commit to was turning up, holding a microphone and being at games, something I would have been doing anyway, going to games without the other responsibility. I'd been working with Edinburgh Rugby at Murrayfield and absolutely loving it. I had been the stadium announcer and I had started to do interviews before and after the game with Edinburgh players after Pro 14 and European fixtures. It was going brilliantly. And then out of the blue, I get this message to say, could I go in for a chat? Absolutely. An excuse to go to Murrayfield, I'll take it. So in I went and we had a bit of a conversation, and it turned out that when they were talking about people to take over, Doddie had recommended me. My heart went boom and my head went whoosh, because that is quite a recommendation. But with it comes a bit of pressure too. So in some naivety, I was asked, "Oh, you've been to hospitality before?" No, I've never been to hospitality before. Okay, well, when we play Fiji in November, you need to come along and see how it goes. Oh, absolutely, I'll come along and see how it goes. But I'd bought tickets. I've bought tickets. My wife and my girls are coming to the Fiji. Just bring them too. Okay, then I'll bring them too. So we arrived for the Fiji game, ready for hospitality. My wife had been working in the morning, so Maisie and Katie and I arrived long before kickoff to meet with Doddie and to get involved in the hospitality before the game. Doddie was an absolute master. He conducted the whole show. He had all those people in the palm of his hand. It was Remembrance Day, and I had been there early and I had shared the time with Doddie at the War Memorial. There had been lots of chat beforehand and everybody knew Doddie head to toe in tartan suit. And there we were just watching the show. He gets Maisie, my oldest daughter, up on stage after the game and she absolutely loved it. Doddie was brilliant. And the players that he had with him, he was interviewing and he got captain up on stage after the game. It was just a joy. Everybody loved it. Now, that was also the first game that I was the stadium announcer for. So over 67,000 people listening to me. And what team did we play? Fiji. Fiji's a team I absolutely love. As you can see, with my Fiji shirt signed on the wall by Big Bill Mata and Leone Nakarawa. Brilliant. Love it. And there they go. First points on the board, Fiji. And one of the Edinburgh players, Big Bill, scored the try. And I loved to call number 8 for Edinburgh, Big Bill Mata. So I did the same when he scored for Fiji, but obviously he was in the opposition, so nobody really cheered, which was a little bit embarrassing. But I absolutely loved it. 65, 67,000 people listening to me, calling the subs, calling the try scorers, the goal kickers. It was amazing. And then back in to the Thistle Suite to listen to Doddie wrap the whole thing up. And then the pressure started to build, because the following week I was up on stage with Doddie. I'd seen how it had gone. I'd seen the rollout. I'd seen everything that was going on. Okay, next week you're both on stage. Whoa, that's quite a big ask, but it was amazing. And Doddie is known for his tartan suits, and I also had a tartan suit. And he said, make sure you wear your tartan suit. Of course, it was going to be the source of all the gags. What happens to Doddie suits when they go to the dry cleaners and they come back? Bruce wears a tartan suit. How far away is Doddie Weir? But really, it's Bruce wearing his tartan suit. It was an absolute joy. And for all the games that I did alongside Doddie, as we partnered together in the Thistle Suite for hospitality, I was pretty much his official photographer. Because all those people, whether they were from South Africa, Australia, from Fiji, or from just down the road in Edinburgh, they all wanted to see the big man, and they all wanted a picture taken with him. So usually it was, would you mind? Absolutely, no problem at all. So I took thousands of pictures. Now, Doddie, with his MND, would struggle to keep going because it was energy sapping, being up on stage, making sure everybody was having a good time. He worked the tables. He knew everything that was going on. And then after the game, when there was the ticket draw to win the signed shirt or the signed ball, that's when the fun would begin. He would throw the ball to Greg Laidlaw, who would be up on stage after the game, and he would make the person that had won the ball stand all the way down there, and they would have to catch the ball as Greg throws an international scrum half spin pass to be caught, and you only got the ball if you caught it. It was absolute nonsense. But it was just what a clubhouse should feel like. Forget it was an international game. Everybody was welcome. Everybody was made to feel special, and everybody had a hell of a time. Now, I've inherited Doddie's last game was against Wales in the Six Nations, and there was a big send-off, a big celebration. Doddie, with his 66 caps for Scotland, plus all the games he'd done in the Thistle Suite, reckoned he'd done over 100 games for Scotland. So there it was. Everybody trooped down to the side of the field. The Scotland team came out, and we had a sing-song, and we had a grand old time, and that was Doddie's send-off. And it meant a huge amount to me to be there alongside him, in front of him, being made fun of, being the butt of his jokes, being the small straight guy next to him. That was just how it went. And Doddie's heart just grew and grew and grew. And I know that he was sad when he left, but I felt hugely honoured that I was the man to take over from Doddie Weir at the Thistle Suite at BT Murrayfield. And those memories and those shared experiences are going to last a very, very long time. Doddie would quite often just bring up his pals. When Carol Hogg arrived with Jill Douglas, up onto stage they came. If Gary Armstrong was there, come on, wee guys. Come on, wee guys. Wee guys would come up and he would give us his insight. It was just a joy, and he made it look absolutely effortless. He did put in some preparation, and when we would arrive before the game, we would have the running order of everything that was going on, and Doddie would just ask, give me a Sharpie, give me a Sharpie, and he would go through it, and he would edit it Doddie style. So everything that was planned and prepared, all the video footage, all the music that was all queued up, it was in the wrong order, because it wasn't in Doddie's order. But when he got up on the stage, the order changed, because it was on Doddie time, and it was always brilliant. It was chaos. It was kind of organized, but it was always brilliant fun. I feel very honored to have been there, and I look back on it with very fond memories. And I hope now people arrive and have a grand old time when it's just little old me on the stage. But I love it, and I love it because it's at BT Murrayfield. This has been Murrayfield and Me with Bruce Aitchison from Happiness is Egg-Shaped. Please go to Spotify, Acast and Apple. Please subscribe to the pods. On a Monday, it's the big pods with special guests. And on a Thursday, it's just little old me talking about Murrayfield. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Happiness is Egg-Shaped.